loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the cat that. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, I'm still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Stage nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, but don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the cat that. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, I'm still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the cat that. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, I'm still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Stage nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, but don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the cat that. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, I'm still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the cat that. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, I'm still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along.
Yo.
Oh, are we live?
Yes, I think we are live.
Let's
Happy
go.
April Fool. Are we even real?
This is not a joke. This is not a rehearsal. And yeah, we are very, very live. Okay. How should we start, Siong?
I mean, it has been a fun. 3 days, right? People been. I think the vote for the Referral work groups went live 2 days ago. I think today is the last day, or tomorrow is the last day. But people have a lot of questions about what they've been doing. We just want to hear. We are here to share like what the group has been doing, especially what like behind the scenes. I think people don't know. They are not new. They've been working with us for the last 3 months right now. Actually, more than that, like 3 months. Like before that, they launched a bunch of tools. We work with them. Like obviously, when they launch this tool, they need like data access. They need to understand how everything works. So we'll be working with them for the last, I would say, like some of them like more than 6 months right now. Some of them like definitely more intimately for the last 3 months. Yeah. Now it's basically here to share, some of the stuff they've been working on for the last 3 months. Yep.
Yeah, I think like what Siong mentioned, we just get started. So let me see. Okay, yeah, we have Siong right here. Chief
Hi, everyone.
Myself started doing a bit more dev stuff. Today we'll be sharing more about the developer docs. So there'll be an interesting way to go through just like pure documentation and get feedback live from the community.
I think one thing that's very important is like people like even like I tweeted out just now like sharing like what we're going to talk about today. Actually, there are still people reach out on Twitter. It's like, wow, like you guys have a Jupyter API.
Yeah, I just saw that also.
Use. Yeah, I was like, wow, like that means like there's a need for what we are doing right now and like what the team has been doing for the last I would say like 2 years, 3 years. of running Jupyter right now. Also people don't know the API is actually widely used across a lot of things. Like Soulflare is using it, Phantom is using it, and most wallets are using it. Obviously, like any other APIs out there, it's not easy when you first look into it. The team has been very active in the Discord channel. It used to be my job. Like I used to be in the channel for like the last 3 years and like 4 years supporting people. Now I have like more time. I would still jump into it because the way I think about this is like when you're talking to developers directly, you learn a lot of stuff that are like really helpful for you to design it and to make it like work for like the developers who are going to use it. So over the last 3 months, the DevRel work group has been like stepping up on helping me share the workload, and also YY as well. You guys can see like YY and the work group has been like very active in the channel, helping us on a lot of stuff, and also the whole redesign of the developer docs. Like this is what we're going to be sharing today. Yep.
Yeah, I think we need more of what we have been doing, and we need a lot more help. So there's a reason why there's a DevRel working group trial vote now, and yeah, we'll be sharing more. So I'll just go through briefly the agenda today. So if you guys didn't realize, during the previous planetary call, we announced a new upgraded Jupyter developer docs. I'll go more into that in a bit, and then together with the developer docs sharing as well, we'll be sharing a lot more on the evolved APIs. So in the past couple of months, we have a lot of products now and a lot of improvements to our products, and those comes with better APIs for developers, for integrators out there to not just use Jupyter from our own front end, from our own UI, but use it across any app or any platform out there. And then we'll be sharing some breaking changes on the API, as well as getting more feedback from ourselves and also for the DevRel working group. And then today we'll have not just myself and Siong, but we also have the DevRel working group with us today. So I think for the first part, which we'll be talking about the new developer docs, we'll bring Fiji up on stage to discuss this together. So yeah, DevRel. I'll change my.
Very first. This is our first time using StreamYard.
How do I bring him on stage? Is he ready to be on stage?
One thing that we are still experimenting. Cool.
Okay, all of them. Let's go.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, guys. Hello. What's up?
Jim.
Okay. This let's try this out.
Yeah. Okay.
See whether it will get crazy to have like 5 people on stage. But anyway, we'll be working with them very closely. I help like only feedback and comments from there, like here to there and here and there. Like YY, especially YY has been working with them on like a lot of redesign on the new the developer docs. Obviously, I'm not sure anyone here have seen the previous the docs before. It's actually very messy in the sense that we have sections that for developers. We also have sections for all the users. And when we point developers to the docs, they were like, sometimes they stumble upon the user guide. They'll say, oh, this is not developer related. Then we have to tell them, oh, this is the section all about the developer stuff and whatnot. So I think a redesign has been very helpful because now we can separate out the function as well. So user guide will be on the new gen desk, the support desk, because those will be very helpful for users who are actually using the Jupyter product, not like developing on it. Then the new dev.jup.ag will be mainly focused on focusing on basically all the developers related stuff, and also as part of the upgrade, actually behind the scene, the team also converting a lot of existing products into API, so that more people can actually use it. It's not just an upgrade of the previous documentation that we have. Along the way, we also added, I think over the last 3 months, we also added, new APIs that people can use. For example, limit order, DCA, VA APIs as well. Not VA not yet. and also revamping how we really think about scaling up the API. One thing that people have been complaining is that like like the free API is like super low rate limit. It's not like helpful for us. One thing we've been thinking about is like how can we make it like the rate limit higher without hurting other user experience, right? Obviously that's not possible. So we introduced like the new pay tiers that I think some of the team has been using it. The good thing about it is like it relies on all our RPC. It's the same RPC backend that we have that powering the users. We paid a lot of money for the RPC. We actually make zero like profit on the API. The whole goal here is to really like get people like familiar with it, like get people to use it so that they will like start go on to like use other Jupyter products as well. Then along the way we also introduced the new Ultra API as well. The new Ultra API is basically the same API that powering the new Ultra swap on Jupyter. It has all the things that we talk about, RT, SE, so that's very easy for people to you don't have to estimate, like you don't have to set like the perfect seepage for your transaction to land, for your swap to land. The good thing about Ultra API is like it figure out for you. And on top of that, it's like the whole point of the Ultra API is to really make people to stop thinking about RPC. One problem that we see from time to time in the Discord channel is that like people don't know how to like submit transactions. It's actually a big problem for anyone who has been working on Solana. It's like, oh, like I get a transaction right now, but when I make a transaction, I keep getting my block hash expired. Then I have to like walk through them. It's like, oh, like it's actually not like a science to submit transaction. It's more like an art, especially on Solana. You have to figure out what RPC to use. And some RPC sometimes gets better, some RPC die down. Then like you have Zito, you have all these different problems that you have to deal with. With the new Ultra API, like you get a transaction, you sign it, you submit the transaction back to us. Behind the scenes, again, it's using all the infra that we set up. Like we work with 3 top tier RPC provider behind the scenes. Then we figure out how to land the transaction for you. Then after the transaction has landed, right, the next problem is like, okay, I look at this transaction right now. How can I pass the information on the particular transaction to understand what's going on? Obviously, like then you have to figure out, that's how Jupyter Swap works. Like that's the input amount that has been sent in the transaction. You have to build up a whole script to do all these things, right? But with the new Ultra API, we handle that for you as well. If a transaction doesn't land, we will give you a friendly error message. If a transaction lands, we will pass all the information for you, so you know exactly the in amount, the final in amount, and the final out amount into your wallet. Then after that, it's like then you'll be wondering like, okay, how much tokens in my wallets, right? The Ultra API has a balance endpoint as well, so like you can just pass in your wallet. You will know exactly how much balance like for each token that you have in your wallet. Again, now you don't have to use the RPC. So basically, the whole Ultra API goal is to really like abstract away like these 2 different concepts that developer needs when they start building on Solana. You need to think about all the actually three different things. The first thing is like, how do you craft the transactions in order to land a swap, right? Like that's the first thing. Like with now you just call like a token input mean, output mean, then immediately the transaction will get crafted for you. Then the second thing is like you get a transaction back, right? Then you sign it. Then you have to think about these new things like, okay, this RPC, they're Helios, they're Triton, they're all good providers. But at the same time, it's like you have to know, okay, like how do I submit it? But when you submit a transaction, right, then you have to figure out what's the block hash, all these different problems. With the Ultra API, again, like you don't have to think about it. You sign transactions, you validate the transaction is something that's safe. You just submit it back to us. Then we'll help you to land. Then when the transaction come back, right, again, the third problem is it's like, it's like usually without Ultra API, you have to like every transaction out there that has landed, you have to figure out what it means. But again, with Ultra API, it's very easy. Like you don't have to think about any of that anymore. But again, like Ultra API, like the introduction of the new Ultra API, revamping the whole documentation from the old the old endpoint that we have to the new endpoint that we have right now with the pay tiers on top of it to increase the rate limit. And also all the new limit order API. I think DCA API as well. Perpetual API is still in the work, but it will be coming up soon as well. So all this will be in the pipeline as part of the upgrade of the new for the new dev.jup.ag. Yeah, I think I talk a lot here.
I think we
I will
covered
let
the entire session.
I will let
yeah.
obviously all these are done without not just like the whole point here is that the engineers are working behind the scene to put up all these APIs, right? Sometimes the easiest way for us to test what we are building is directly with the user, but that can be very far, how do I say it, it's very hard to know exactly what to build. But the good thing with the Referral group here is that we can bounce an idea with them. We can tell them yo, these are the things that we are working on. Does it make sense? Based on what your sentiments with working with all the developers, they're asking questions in the group. Then they're also our second our sounding board as well, right? Our engineers, a lot of them like to write code, but they are very bad at writing documentations. So it's with them, with the Referral group, they'd be very helpful, telling us, this is confusing, what do you think about it? These are the things that we should improve on. So this is basically what they've been helping us on the documentations.
Yeah, I think just to emphasize on Siong's point, I'm just gonna run through a very quick showcase of the old station, which is what we used to have for both guides and documentation. So you can see the landing page is okay. We have the product guides, which is all user facing, which has everything in there. And then we have the developer docs as well, which has everything in there as well. So yeah, we have a lot of resources out there, but a lot of it is not always up to date, not always maintained. And this is where the Referral work group can come into place as well. When we ship any product, when we ship anything new, we can always reiterate fast, get feedback fast, and then update the docs, update anything faster as well. So with the new, brand new developer docs, just purely focusing on developer docs, we can cover much more ground in a much more clearer way. So diving into the different APIs, we have Ultra API now, which is new, the classic sort API, and then recently we also released the Trigger API and as well as Recurring API. So to correct you, we also have VA in the Recurring API as well.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I forgot that everything has changed. We don't no longer call it LO and DCA.
Yeah.
But
so
yes,
DCA
Recurring AI. Yeah. Cool.
It's Recurring API, and then within the params, you can pass in either the time params or the price param. So time is DCA, price is VA. And we also have the token and price API that we had in the past. There's also a bunch of toolkits within the docs as well.
Someone's asking about the perp API. Yeah, the perp.
So
the future API is coming. Yes.
Yeah, we have a placeholder right now. There's a few things that you guys can already check out, which is the accounts on chain, which is super complex. This docs was in the old docs. I just copy paste, so I didn't have time to go through every single one of them yet. But you can go through the different accounts that the perps program use already. And then I will need to add one more thing in here, which is one of our perps developer have created an SDK sort of to get on-chain data easily. So I think a lot of people want JLP data, all the open and closed positions data. A lot of those data that is on-chain is not easily you can't get it easily. So there's an SDK out there that you can use it to easily get them. Yeah, so I'll need to add that to the docs. Yeah, there's also other toolkits like the terminal, which we'll showcase a bit more later, and yeah, Unified Wallet Kit.
I think someone mentioned that the API has a terminal has deprecated messages. I think that's one thing that the work group will help to make sure that it's up to date and everything. I mean, that's one thing that we are very bad at, because the internal teams are always working on different things. Obviously the public stuff will get slide away, because it's not a priority for the internal teams. But the good thing about what we are doing right now is that we have external help to really make sure that all these packages are updated and stuff like that. Yeah. And actually, one thing that would be very cool, I think, the terminal is not using the Ultra API yet, right? Yeah, but sooner or later we can actually put Ultra API onto the terminal. Because one of the problems that I've noticed is that people install the Jupyter terminal on their website, right? Then sometimes they forget they forget to pay the RPC bill. Then the thing will just stop working. Obviously it's not a great thing like for people who come to your website expecting the Jupyter terminal to work, but it stopped working. It's not a great experience. I think one of the big project will be, I think with the help of the work group, like we can transition the API behind the terminal, the Jupyter terminal, into using the new Ultra API. I think that will help. Yeah,
abstracts a lot of like complexities away. Even though terminal is supposed to be like the very easy thing to use, it is still like there's some complexity there, and Ultra removes like those additional ones and make it even simpler to use. And yeah, whoever mentioned it just now, yes, the terminal docs is not updated. So like what Siong mentioned, this is something that the Referral work group will help with. I think
it's not that they are slow. It's actually one block. The blocking thing is actually on our side because we want to introduce referral as well as part of the new the new Ultra API, because a lot of people who install the terminal on their website, they expect to make some referral fees as well when people are shopping on the terminal. Again, the cool thing about it is like with the Ultra API, you don't longer have to sign up for a PC anymore. You can just put the Ultra API on your front end, they will start working. And also one of the downside of it is that a lot of people are getting we realize that wallets are doing some funky thing when the API is being used on other domains. They will start adding like a random stuff, like they will modify the compute unit. They will modify they will add like extra instruction into the transaction to make sure that it's safe for you to swap on the wallet. So we have to like make our API flexible in some way that to allow this extra instruction to be put in. There's some blockers on the front. Hopefully we roll it out this week. On the referral side, one thing, there's also another thing that I think the referral good the referral good will be working on as well, is that we are also revamping the whole how we do referrals for most people out there, and there will be extra fees that we're going to make back gain as well.
Yeah, I think Fiji here from the Referral group can attest to like some of the questions asked in dev support. By the way, Fiji here has been like in dev support, I don't know, like 24/7 across the weekend as well. I think Fiji, you can share more about like the experience you have in dev support. And then there's a lot of feedback that is coming from there as well. You can share that as well.
I think someone mentioned Solana Kit 2.1. What's Solana Kit 2.1? Is it Solana Web 2.0? Like Web 3 2.0?
Maybe,
yeah.
I mean, actually, that's one thing that Fiji and their team has been working the first version of API is the first version of the API, the documentations only show if you're using Solana Web 3 1.0, like all the code base there are using the 1.0 Web 3 the Web 3 library. But with Fiji help, we also added like the Web 3 2.0 support as well. So now you can see how to craft and submit a transaction with the Web 3 1.0 version of the library, and also the Web 3 2.0 version of the library. So that if you're using the older library, which is actually more commonly used because it has been around for so long, but if you're using the new library, the Web 3 2.0 library, which is still the adoption is like slowly increasing, it's all there right now.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm taking I'm talking on behalf of you, but you should go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. You have much more for to share compared to us. So about support, developer support that you mentioned, it's actually very useful because for us, we also didn't know all the products of Jupyter. So it was a learning process for us as well, to see what Jupyter offers, understand it, and then provide support for it. Right? And it's also very good because people actually use it a lot, as you said, the Jupyter APIs, the Jupyter products, and we get very quickly feedback on issues that are happening or things that the community wants. So this is a process of figuring out what the users need, figuring out what the users, what issues the users face, and then improve upon them. So yeah, that's, I would say, is the what I have noticed. That's very
Yeah,
good.
I think Fiji, you brought up a great point there. Like, not really like a process that we built up. It's sort of like, you've been in dev support so much that you realize people constantly ask, like, there's a pattern to how people ask questions. And then you realize, this is something that is different. So you will know that this is something odd, like that is a unique case, something that's not mentioned before. And then you come and ping me because you wouldn't understand it yet. And I might not understand it. And then I'll have to reach out to the team, and then it'll be like a entire feedback loop that we have created, even though we didn't like discuss it up front that, if you find anything interesting, report back to me, that kind of thing. It's just like a thing that we just built out along the way that, you found something, you got a feedback, and then you question it. I started questioning it. We add to the docs, or we ask the team for more help. I think it's like a natural process because, you guys are like sort of like on the ground as a community member as well, as a DAO member. And then, getting that feedback directly for the team. And then there's a different perspective there as well for us to like, absorb and learn from. Yeah, which is very cool in my opinion.
So Joshua is asking like how can like one help with the the new dev like community. Yeah. But I mean, one thing you can see is that before that, if you go to the Discord channel, the developer support channel is always like one small channel like on the side. So it's like not getting a lot of focus. And also a lot of people think that developer support is where they ask for like they're missing airdrop because you can talk to the developer directly. But like it's obviously not meant for that. The whole point of the developer support is to really like get support from like if you're a developer building on Jupyter API, if you're a developer building on Jupyter SDK, like basically everything related to Jupyter. When you're developing like a new like tools or new like whatever on it, you can ask there. Like obviously with the confusion that people like thinking that like, oh, this is like a place to get direct help from the Jupyter developers. Like now we actually break it down into like more like comprehensive like a main is it called like a main home or whatever like channel on the side that you can see multiple channels there. Like to answer your question, Joshua, like definitely go on it. There are multiple channels there. You can see what people have been asking. You can like if you really want to participate, you can help them out as well.
I think from like a dev community perspective, the fundamental interaction is like helping each other. It can be like helping with ideas, helping with like a developer resource. I think it's quite different compared to like a typical like community, right? Like an NFT community or Jupyter community. It's quite different because developers always are trying to like solve problems, trying to find solutions. So like helping to reach their goal faster would be like a way to build out this community fast and strong. Yeah. So I think Fiji or the rest of the team will share more about that maybe after this. Yeah.
And so people also like to share what they have done, what they have built. So this is also part of the community, I would say. One big part, of course, as you said, is the supporting of each other. There are people that are not part of the DevRel, but they're still there. They have some knowledge and they try to help each other with figuring out problems. And that's one part. And also that what we like a lot is that people build and come in the chats and say, okay, look, I built this. Have a look. What do you think? And I think that's also very motivating for other people to join up and say, okay, this guy built this cool thing. Let me also try and build something.
Yeah, I think we're starting small. We always every day we have questions, but definitely, hopefully those questions can turn into more like fruitful interactions along the way. I think we'll wrap up like the developer doc section. If you guys have more questions or the docs are missing anything, you would like to see anything, do let us know in the dev channels, and we'll get right to it. I think Siong kept mentioning
like again, right? Like one thing that if you can share, like I think one thing that like if you've been using the old support channel, old documentations, and now you're experienced like some like all these new things that we've been working on, feel free to share like a tweet to share like tell the world like how they have been very helpful on all this different stuff. Yeah. That's
We will
the
appreciate that.
thing about developers, right? That's the thing about developers. We are very shy to tell the world about like the help and also showcase like the products that we build and stuff like that. But this will be a good exercise. Tell the world, tweet, like send a tweet, like tag me, I will retweet it. Like the things that you like the questions, the problems that you get solved by jumping on the Discord channel, like the product that you have built using the Jupyter API. Definitely feel free to share and tag me in a tweet.
Let's go. I'll tweet after this call as well. Okay. Yeah. As I was saying, Siong kept mentioning about Ultra API. I think we should use this opportunity to demonstrate like how easy it is to get started with Ultra API, even if you are not a developer. So like myself, I don't come from like a developer background. I started like writing some code, I don't know, half a year ago, 1 year ago. And I think it will be a good case study for me to show that I can write some code and to show you how easy it is to use Ultra API. So without saying too much, let me share the other screen. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Bring up my Vibe code terminal.
What code?
How do I bring it up? There we go. Okay. I was testing it just now. Okay, so if you are completely new to developing with Jupyter, the docs itself should cover. How do I do this? Maybe I should share my.
Can you make it like the full screen? Like how can you make this a full screen?
One sec. Entire screen. Okay.
I mean, but when YY is trying to figure out, when we first building on the Ultra API, the whole idea there is actually not to make human how to understand how to code. When I came up with the idea, it's actually to make AI easily understand how Jupyter API works, because like think about AI. AI is like maybe like a 11, 12-year-old teenager right now. They are not like as skillful as like someone who's like 20, 30-year-old who have been coding for like 10, 20 years, right? There are some like if you really look at the age of AI, they are probably like 3-year-old or 4-year-old like doing like developing, right? So the whole point of Ultra API is really make it very easy for people to for the AI agent to really use the Jupyter API. They should be able to understand how to get a transaction. They should be able to like how to land a swap. Basically everything fully planned out for the API. Then obviously we also have developers who also have like 1 or 2 years experience using the actual human developers using the swap API. That's why we decided to release the Ultra API, not just for the AI agents, also for like new developers coming to the like Solana ecosystem, and also like start building on the Jupyter API. Yeah.
Okay, speed run this. So if you're new to Jupyter APIs, go to get started. You can get an overview of the different APIs that we have, some of the breaking changes as well. How you get started is through the environment setup. So there are some of the things that you might want to get used to, which is like what Siong mentioned, the Solana Web3.js, as well as like the Anchor SDKs. I mean the Anchor, and also one important thing for development is you need to set up a wallet. So some of these things I've already pre-set up, and then now we just head over to the Ultra API, and the first thing we'll do is get an order. So I'm just gonna copy and paste. Really just copy and paste. So for example here, I've already set up the libraries, the necessary libraries, and also this is my wallet. So just gonna run this. So what I'm doing here is just getting an order response from the Ultra endpoint, which is the Ultra order endpoint. So I'm passing in SOL input mean, and then output mean is USDC. This is the USDC token, and then this is the amount, and then the ticker should be my wallet. One sec. Maybe I'll just demo the response first. There we go. So now we can see the response. So this is an example order response. So you can see that this swap type is aggregator. So we are using the aggregator routing instead of an RFQ routing for this specific order. And then you can see like where the route is going through Radium CLM in this case. And then there's a bunch of other information. But what you want to take note of is the transaction right here. So this is the transaction you need to sign. And then you don't have to send it on chain yourself. You just need to send it to our execute endpoint and we'll execute it for you. So if you go back here, what you need to do is get this signed transaction. So a TLDR here is we are deserializing the transaction, signing it, and then serializing back into its correct format for the execute endpoint. So I'll pass this in. Okay, I need to import. Okay. And then for the last step here, which is the execute response, for the execute endpoint. So what we are doing here is making a post request to the Ultra execute endpoint, and then passing in the signed transaction. So we are signing it above here, and then passing in the request ID from the response here. There should be a request ID somewhere.
Second one.
There you go. Yes, the request ID. Yeah. So this is like a unique ID to the order itself. I need to get my correct wallet address for this.
You can do key pair dot wallet dot address.
Too late. Okay. So if I run this code, there you go. Success.
Yeah, success. Nice.
So if I want to check it out on SolScan or any of the Explorer, I can do so. There you go. I swap some SOL to USDC, and yeah, this is as easy as it gets. So no RPC, no priority fees, no headaches basically. We handle all the complexities for you. Even you don't have to handle slippage. Yeah, so we handle a lot of things for you, and this is very easy. And yeah,
go back to this, right? You can see, the response is coming back, right? It's very friendly. You can see the status. You can see, the total input amount that has been sent in, the total output amount, and the result as well. Then, if you really want to see the events, you can see the events as well. These are the events that happen as part of the swap transactions. For this particular swap, is very easy because you're just one swap from SOL to USDC. That's it. Yeah. But the cool thing about it, you can see what how many lines of code they actually need. To be honest, looking at the number of line of codes right now, with the comments and everything, it's less than 15 lines. You can actually do a swap. Without even if you're new to Solana, you can actually do this easily right now. Without even really thinking too much about it. Yeah, I think all ins is 25 lines of code. You can actually do something. 30 line of code, 31 line of code. You can actually do. You can actually just perform a swap on Jupiter right now. Yep. One thing that's still blocking this API is that the referrer user can still. You still cannot add the referrer in yet. But that's one thing that we are working on. Actually, actually looking at this right now, there are still things that we can improve. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can drop quite a lot of stuff to make it even more streamlined, a lot easier. Yeah.
Maybe a Ultra V2 down the line, Ultra V3, V4. Hopefully it doesn't have to go so many versions.
Can you send me this code so that I can share?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, like you can see, like YY just did like a whole swap on Jupiter in less than 10 minutes. I can tell you, anyone who tried to do this 6 months ago is definitely less. It's not definitely not less than 10 minutes. I talked to so many developers on the Discord channel. It usually take them like maybe like at least 6 hours, because there's so many directions you have to navigate, right? One is the Jupiter API. Then you have to think about transactions. Then you have to think about how Solana works. Then after that, you have to think about RPC. Then you have to think about transaction landing. Like by the time, I mean, it's good that like you explore all these things. By the time you can do a transaction, but I can tell you, a lot of developers stop like after the first minute. Like we are not getting enough people. Like because of that, I feel like we are not getting enough people start playing with Solana. With this, like just like 30 lines of code, you can easily do a swap right now. The barrier. I mean, the barrier of entry is a lot lower right now. So yeah, I don't see why you shouldn't do it. If you want to do something, buy something, try it out. Thank you, Uncle Phil. I'll try.
Yeah. So to just summarize, Ultra API really just has 3 steps. I mean, there's like you have to pre-set up some of the stuff, but really just get order, sign, and execute. All the other complexities, Jupiter does our best to handle it for you. Similar to how our front end, if you go to Jupiverse right now, the first option is Ultra API. The first option is Ultra Swap. We try to handle all the complexities for you. You still get to use the manual settings, which we also still support in the API, which is the classic swap API, which has all the other parameters that you can play around with. You can customize a lot more things there. But Ultra API is to simplify it for you and does its best to execute.
I would say like if you are new to Solana, actually even if you are like have been using Solana, have been using our swap API for the longest time, you should really look into Ultra API, because one thing that for the older API, a lot of parameters out there they are there, but they might not be what we are using right now for the best to land the transactions. With Ultra API, obviously, the internal team know that like what's the best parameter to set. If you're using Ultra API, means you're always up to date for the best configurations, best parameters to set if you really want to land the transactions.
Yeah, I think there's things like RTSE. I think one important one is just routing to RFQ as well, which is huge because
yes. Ultra API also support RFQ. Yes, that's one thing that people don't know as well. For the old API, it doesn't support RFQ. For Ultra API, it support RFQ. The cool thing about like RFQ is that like you can get zero price impact swap. Whatever price that you're getting is exactly what you're getting when the swap happens.
And gasless.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for gas. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of features. I think in the docs we mentioned some of the features that comes with Ultra API. So go check out the docs. Go try it out. Even if you're not a dev and you're watching this stream somehow, go try it out. Let us know the experience. Just try to vibe code and see how things go. Maybe you'll become a developer one day and contribute to the Jupiter dev community. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Okay, I think we'll take this moment to mention some of the breaking changes with regards to the API gateway. So if you are not familiar with the API gateway, I think during Katstambo period, we released this new API gateway whereby in the past you'll be using this host name, which is _api.jupiter.ag and then /v6 and then whatever the rest of the endpoint is. There are new endpoints, if you're not aware, which is just api.jupiter.ag /swap /v1 and then the rest of the endpoint, right? So that is the API gateway that we released recently. But today we have released improved API gateway that covers these 3 things, which is reduced latency. In the past, our infrastructure had some like inconsistency and slightly higher latency compared to the past. So now we have reduced latency and some consistent latency as well. And then there'll be cost reduction, which will help those users that is on the pro plans that has higher rate limits to we might be exploring cost reduction on that front as well. So these are the 3 main points for the improved API gateway. And then with this, with this, there will be a dual endpoint deployment moving forward. So if you are using api.ju.ag, you only can use api.ju.ag with API keys. If you are using it for free, you have to migrate over to lite-api.ju.ag. So this one right here. So if you are on a free usage for api.ju.ag, you will need to migrate to lite-api.ju.ag. So this will take effect by 1st May. So we have around one month's time to migrate over to this endpoint. And yeah, if you still use api.ju.ag without an API key, meaning you're using it for free, you'll get a 4001 response. So hopefully this 1 month's time will be enough for the free users, the free API users, to move over to the new endpoint. And yeah, if you need more time, just let us know in Discord. We'll try to accommodate to any of the requests. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that people been asking me is that how why are we charging for rate limit and all these things? Like we are not charging, like we have very generous free API usage for the last 2-3 years right now. Obviously the infra cost has been increasing, and the best way to actually provide, like there are also other teams that are reaching out to us and can we use your API for for certain for obviously many reasons. Then we have to tell them but we cannot really give you too much rate limit until we can feel comfortable about not hurting the Jupyter UI users. So the only thing that we can do is basically scale up our infra, get more RPC providers and whatnot. At the same time, start letting people subscribe with some fees. The fees actually we actually don't make money from it. The way we do it is these are the things that you can play with, all these different APIs and whatnot. But in the end of the day, these are the manual API. If I think moving forward, we might have a more interesting pricing plan for the Ultra API, in the sense that because Ultra API you have to pay some fees in order to use it. The way it will work is that the more fees that you pay, maybe you will get more rate limit and different stuff like that. But this is one of the things that we're going to experiment with down the road. With the way, right, then you don't even have to think about, okay, I'm paying for the fees right now. Why do I still need to pay for extra fees on using the API?
Yeah, I think the Ultra API dynamic rate limit will be pretty cool to try it out. Yeah, higher volume, higher rate limit. Yeah, very cool. Okay, yeah. So to reiterate, if you're using api.ju.ag for free, you need to migrate to lite-api.ju.ag by 1st May in order to use it, to continue to use it for free. And yeah, so if you have any questions regarding API gateway or this dual endpoint, we'll be releasing an announcement soon in the dev notification channel. Any questions, feel free to let us know or let the DevRel working group know. We'll attend to your questions.
Yeah, I think someone's asking for DevNet support. There's also one question that I'm pretty sure everyone in the Discord channel has been getting, have been asking. The problem is that because Jupyter works with so many AMMs out there, you can technically we can technically build a DevNet support, but in the end of the day, it doesn't really, whatever we build on DevNet might not even works on the mainnet because of all the missing AMMs.
It'll be very different.
Actually, one thing we can try to do is to maybe this one thing that why we should work with the DevRel work group to see whether we can set up something very simple, especially for the Ultra API. If you really don't want to, actually that will be harder. Ultra API then means we could. It probably take us some time, but in the end of the day, Solana is very cheap.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost a lot to really do it.
I think some of the how we usually reply those questions is just try out with one lamp pot or something. I mean, one lamp pot.
Yeah, you can try out 100 lamp pots. It's worth nothing. Then you can get some amount of tokens back for sure.
Yeah.
And the gas is quite minimal right now. Yeah, usually like it will take, if you really want to play this whole thing, like now you don't have to pay for RPC, you don't have to sign up for anything. Like it will cost you less than $1 to do a swap on Ultra API.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll move on to a section for the DevRel working group to showcase some of the things that they have done. Or actually, I think let's bring on Con. He'll be doing a live deployment. I'll let him take it away.
Hello guys. Hello everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm gonna share my screen. Let me check this. So entire screen. Here we go.
Does it work? I think Bye, can you bring up the screen? Yes. Awesome.
All right, you can see my screen. So what we're gonna do is at Catalytics we have a feature that is called Solana Mobile, and here we have some tokens that are being airdropped to. I mean, this is not financial advice. We're just doing this for the POC. And if you click on one asset, Jup AG opens and you can trade the token. This token I just clicked. So what we're going to do now is we're going to implement the terminal in here and see how we can directly trade the tokens from the terminal. So,
this is another live coding session again. Nice.
There's a bit more context.
Yeah.
So this is the Catalytics. This is actually like the Catalytics.
I mean, one thing that like people don't know here is like Cons and Fiji has been working on the Catalytics portal. It provides a lot of information out there. It's open source, right? The whole thing.
Yes, everything is open source. Everything is in our GitLab. So what I did is I just started a project locally. So let me get back here. So now we are on localhost. So we can see still stuff. Someone staked some Jup. That's cool. And let's go to the Seeker, to the Solana mobile, and here we are. So to implement the Jupyter terminal, if you're new, you just Google Jupyter terminal. You get to this website, and here you have several opportunities. You can do like a modal, an integrated one, a widget. The widget looks like this one. So you get a Jupyter icon on the bottom left or bottom right. We can change everything of that. And depending on what you choose here, I will go like with the default for the beginning. You're getting some scripts that you can copy and use in our project. So I will copy this link. This is like the import that you have to put in your, I mean, this is a bigger project now, but this is like my root index HTML where I just imported the terminal. And I'm gonna take this widget code that is been generated from the fields I put from. So if I put a fixed input and all the stuff, you see there is automated code that you can just copy paste. So let me just disable it for now and take it. So click copy.
More copy
now. Deving. So this is like an Angular project. So I am going to and 1 second. ng. This is like a life cycle I have to import, and here we go. So I'm gonna copy paste this in here. It doesn't recognize Jupiverse, so I have like to do. You will probably don't have to do the stuff if you have a fresh project. Let's define this like as any. So now it knows that I want to initialize Jupyter. If we go now to the website on localhost, we can see here Jupyter. But we don't like the position because we have some other buttons. So let's go back to the docs. I'm gonna jump directly to the API reference. And here, let's say position. So we can do like widget style, position. And what kind of positions do we have? We can use bottom left, for example. Let me get a. So just by typing this config in for the terminal, you see, now I have Jupiter on the left side.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Actually, never seen
This
people
is
do it
very
before.
so.
I mean, one thing that
So
you
I'm
guys can
facing-
notice is that it required RPC right now. I think with the Ultra integrations, all this will be, you don't actually need
Yeah.
the RPC anymore. Yeah, this whole Helios.
So I'm
thing
gonna
will
take
be-
my key from here. This is like a random account I have. So I'm gonna do like to use instead of the Solana thing. So I'm using mine, and now if we go to localhost, we see we have no errors. So I can just try to perform a swap, but let's see first what other things we can use. So if we want to have in our application, let's say a fixed input, fixed output, and a fixed amount, let's say that I want everything to be fixed so that the user cannot make any changes. So I can just go in here, put this in, and probably also need an amount. So let's take something like that. And you get initial amount like this. So this is like a pre-configuration for the user so that the user cannot change it. You see, if I click on here, nothing changes. If I click here, nothing changes. And I have the possibility to swap like 0.1 for Sol now. And I can go like confirm. My test wallet opens. This is German, just it's okay. And everything has been, my swap has gone through. I can go like to Solana Explorer to see this. And this is actually my transaction that went through. We have also other, let's say, for example, if I want to make Sol scan, yeah, I can change like the Explorer. If I want to use a different Explorer, I can go in here and say Sol scan. If, for example, I don't like this default Explorer, so the next time I'm going to perform a swap, if we go here, okay, I have insufficient balance. So what are we going to do? I can't change something now, but it's easy. We can go here, remove this. Let's comment this out maybe, and get from the documentation the initial input mint. And let's say that we want it to be, and Solana is not tradable, so we have to get the wrapped Sol address. So we get the wrapped Sol address. We put this in. We have let's take USDC. So we can go like here, USDC mint on Sol. We can take the USDC address and put it in. And now if we go back to our application, we have Sol to USDC. So I can do like something like that. I'm gonna swap, confirm. Confirm. And here we go. Now I can click Sol scan. Oh, this didn't work. Okay, maybe I wrote some Sol scan. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's why.
Okay, typos. Confirm. Here we go. Swap failed. Slippage. Okay,
I
not
see.
good.
I see. Wow, it's actually pretty cool. It does tell you everything.
Okay, we're getting some slippage error right now. Okay, let's not focus on this one, but we can. This is like a real application we have now. This is on my local host. So let's say that the user wants, for example, to click on a token and swap this token without having to like select it. So how am I gonna trade cats in a dog's world for something if I want to click on it? So this is actually relatively easy. So we can do like init terminal and main window. just have to. And we can put in this config. Oh, is it wrong? Oh, yeah. So we have this config here. We can put this here. So we have our config over. Oh, sorry. This config is init terminal. And here we have a button that right now, where is it? Where is it? It's called Buy on Jupiter, and it opens the Jupiter URL. It opens just Jupiter on the website. But we don't want to use this logic anymore. Let's say we want like to update the config and the props and the input mint to get the token address. And then we have to init it again. So right now, if initially we have Sol USDC, but if someone clicks on Cats on a Dog's World and then goes here, you see the token has changed.
They shouldn't sell
And-
though. They should buy.
Yeah, of course. Okay, sorry. So let's make it output mint. And click. Okay, I probably have like to catch the event and open the terminal, but let's double click, and then now I can swap like 0.0001.
Nice. This is actually very cool.
And confirm. Let's go.
Wow.
And we have Cats in the Dog's World.
Nice. This is very
So
cool.
what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna commit this.
You're gonna deploy
Bring it-
this live.
We're gonna bring this to production, then Dan will join after this.
Yeah. The project's open source.
Yes, everything is open source. We have this GitLab. I mean, everyone can go to About Us, the About Us section, scroll down, and here we have our repositories. So I just pushed some code now in the UI. So if you go on pipelines, this is gonna deploy on staging now. And if I bring this, I'm making a tag, bring this to production. So in a couple of minutes, every one of you can go on Catalytics Pro, click on Seeker, and you will see a button here. And I mean, I think this is gonna probably take 3 to 5 minutes to deploy in production. And then you can swap tokens from Catalytics via Jupiter. The only thing is that if you guys use it, my RPC is gonna die one day. But I think, yeah.
But
these are
again,
no
Ultra
problem.
API coming. Then your
Exactly.
RPC won't die.
Exactly.
It's exactly the
So-
problem that we're trying to solve, because I see so many dead terminal on a lot of websites out there because their RPC die. That's why
Yeah.
Ultra API will solve this problem. You don't actually need RPC anymore.
Yeah, that's the big issue. I mean, we added Jup Terminal in Catalytics before Christmas, and we just realized that if we leave this open and it gets used, then we have bad user experience, because one day the RPC will be like completely used, or we have to pay more money for RPC so that users can use the website. So we removed it one day, but now let's introduce it again. It will go live very soon. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can check the actual votes, what's going on. I think it's actually looking very good for both. This is our vote, and this is design vote, also looking very good, 60%. Yeah, let's check.
Yeah, again, thank you for you guys to build this. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having us here. I mean, and also thank you for Fiji, who's somewhere in the background. I mean, we have put a lot of work in this project. This is like our baby. I mean, look, you see here live notifications. Someone just takes 3,000 Jup. So we really tried to bring this application as far as we can, so that users get the information they need. I mean, we have also a page for the litter box, where you see how it gets increased, how many Jupiter land in the litter box, and all the stuff. So it's our baby. We love it. The idea here is not to make advertisement for Catalytics now, but
I mean, it's fine, like like this is a lot of work that you guys put in, especially all these are around like the Jupyter ecosystem. It's amazing.
thank you very much. Oh, come on, at least it's staging. It will probably go to staging first. Yeah.
We can show it later.
Yes, we can show it later. I mean, it's done. Dan can now, I think, show some of the things he has done, and then we can check back and see how the terminal looks on production.
Cool. Welcome, Dan.
Jam. Hello. Nice. I'll be doing another demo as well.
Yeah, for this next part, I
live
think
coding. Yeah.
for this next part, we do have like a unified wallet kit similar to like Terminal, but it allows you to use a set of wallets easily without having to like integrate them one by one. Basically, we create an adapter for you to just plug and play. And I think Dan right here took the initiative to, introduce one additional thing that developers can use directly in their applications now, which is the Jupyter Mobile Wallet Adapter. If you are not familiar with the Jupyter Mobile, what you can do now is, if you go to jup.ag or some of the apps on desktop that supports Jupyter Mobile, you can actually use this method whereby there'll be a QR code on your screen, on your laptop or your computer screen, and you can use Jupyter Mobile to actually sort of like log into the app without actually having an extension on your computer itself. So you can actually use your mobile phone as like a authenticator or like a login option to directly use and sign transactions on the mobile app itself. So I'll let Dan, showcase like how you can do that.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen first. Okay, so I think while waiting for my screen to come up, I'll be doing like a live kind of coding session as well. This is more towards, I think you make my screen bigger.
Yeah, way bigger.
Yeah. Okay, you can see. Okay, so I think right now I'm gonna show you how you can build like a actual app and then use the Solana wallet adapter to actually and add your Jupyter wallet, your Jupyter mobile wallet adapter into your Solana wallet adapter. So I think there's this repo created by the team called Jup Mobile Adapter. So over here there's actually quite a comprehensive README that actually shows you how you can import and create your own Jup mobile adapter and then just use it in your Solana wallet adapter. Yeah. And then how the endpoint looks like is basically okay, give me a moment. Yeah, so basically when you create normally as like a new developer in Solana, when you use Solana wallet adapter, you can use like you'll be greeted with this interface, and then there's this option for Jupyter Mobile now. So if you click on it, you can scan it and then you can log in. Yeah, so this is what the end product will look like for this demo actually. And then once I log in and I approve on my phone, you can actually see that I'm logged in. So I mean connected. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end product. So it's actually quite doable within like 5 minutes. Actually, Jupyter abstracted a lot of complexity from incorporating it because it uses Wallet Connect, which is reowned. So right now, I'll just on the right here, I'll just create a new Next.js application. Yeah, and over here is a new fresh application. And then there's a bunch of packages that you need to download. First, I'll download like this from the Solana documentation. This is for if you want to add like the Solana wallet data. Yeah, so I'll just install. Yeah, while it's installing, after this, I'll also install this package, jup-ag/jup-mobile adapter. So this package actually kind of abstracts a lot of it kind of abstracts all these dependencies that you need to download separately just by downloading this package. Yeah, so it's actually super simple, like the way the team made it for us to incorporate into our application. So next I'll add this package. Then while adding that package, I'll actually create a new components folder and then also create a I'll just create a wallet-provider.tsx. So this is actually a component that it's like a provider component that will host the Solana wallet provider. And yeah, while it's downloading, I can actually show you how to get started. It's a client component. So So you just use client at the top. You do the same thing as what you do for when you use the normal wallet data. So you import wallet provider, connection provider, and then I think my from Solana wallet data React. And then also you can actually I'll just copy paste. I think that's the easiest way to demo, like the fastest way. So when I import, because my jup-ag/mobile adapter is still downloading, so it'll take a while. But yeah, basically you import the wallet provider and the connection provider from Solana wallet adapter React package, and then the wallet model provider from the wallet adapter React UI from Solana as well. And then the Solana style CSS, and then I also think I just remove this, like this phantom wallet. And then also I added use memo because that's how you're gonna memorize the constants for your adapter in your front end. Okay, now it's downloaded. You can see there's no error. And then all you need to do is just to create a provider component that takes in a children. React Node children. Oops. Okay, don't need this for now. You can add in your RPC URL. And then after that, just go down here. You can actually see that the README for Jup wallet adapter actually made it very simple. And then you just need to copy paste this whole thing actually. Okay, but there's some things that you need to change. For example, your name, just put like Jupyter mobile demo. This is really your app name. And then your description can be same thing, just Jupyter mobile demo with a little bit more words. And then for this URL, because I'm not deploying it to a production environment, I'll just put localhost 3000. And then icons is for any logos you have. For me, I don't have any logos. Project ID. Okay, so this is actually a Wallet Connect ID that you have to add in. And this is actually an application that I created. You have to choose the Reowns app kit, which is this one, because they have two. They have one app kit and they have one wallet kit. So you just choose the app kit because that's what Jupyter Mobile is added on. Now I'll just add this. So for the app kit, just copy this project ID, and then paste it here. your project ID. Normally you put it in your env file lah. And then for features wise, you can just keep it as default. This is like for if you use the re-owned adapter, you can log in via Google or X or Apple. But actually for this demo, we'll remove this as well. And then after that, you just need to create this is where the use memo comes in. You just need to memoize this wallet adapters. Copy Jupyter adapter, paste. Yeah, and then what am I missing for my syntax? Oh, dependency array. Yeah, so once you get your wallets, you actually are almost there. Now you just need to return your provider. So connection provider that you have imported, endpoint can be the RPC URL that you've added, but because they don't take null values, so you have to add in like a or, and then just use the API data Solana. Yes, I think there's some error, syntax error here. Yep. Okay. And then after that is your wallet provider that you have to add in. This is also from Solana. And then for this, your wallets you add in here. Can be true. And then in here, you can add in your wallet model provider, and then your children will come in here. Yeah, there should be no errors. Oh, there's an error. Yeah, so this is actually more or less how you can create your provider. Now I'll go to my page.tsx, and then I think I can just remove all this original. Yeah, and then create. Yeah, I'll just add in some styling to make sure that the button is visible, because sometimes it can be at the corner of the screen and stuff. So for this, you just need to import the wallet multi button from Solana. Yes, and then let me run this. Yeah, let me disconnect because previously I connected to it. And then right now, if you select wallet, there you click on more options. Jupyter Mobile is there. And then you can just click on that. It should open the wallet connect, and then you just scan, approve on your phone, and there you go, you're connected. Yeah, so that's actually the demo. It's very fast actually. I think within 10 minutes, you can actually add Jupyter Mobile into your wallet connect. Yeah, and I think there is a few things I want to touch on, which is if you use Unified Wallet Kit, because I think someone mentioned a comment there. There actually in Jupiverse Kit, I've already incorporated in Unified Wallet Kit, so it's actually quite similar. You just need to add the Jupyter Mobile Wallet data inside, and then you can see it here, and then you can connect as well. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that demo was quick.
I actually didn't know that we have a public repo for the mobile adapter already.
This one, right?
Yeah, I didn't know we have that.
Yeah, I think it was created 4 months ago, actually. Yeah.
4 months ago. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Interesting.
Yeah, and then also if anyone wants to see that example, because I might went too fast, it's actually now Jupyter DevRel GitHub. So you can check it out here, Jupyter mobile example. So you can play around with it. You can see how you can add it into your code and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think one thing to add on to like this demo is pretty cool that there is like quite different, type of users. They are using Jup.ag versus like Jupyter Mobile users. So if you integrate this login method or like connect wallet method through Jupyter Mobile, you actually, you provide a new way for those mobile users to use different applications, not just on like their mobile apps, right? You can log in directly to a web interface and they can just sign directly on their mobile app, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So this is very cool, and it's all open source, and you can check out the code base at like Jupyter DevRel to get an example that Dan just demoed. Then maybe you want to share more about what else is in this GitHub organization.
Yes. Okay, so this GitHub actually is what me, Cons, and Fiji has done up. It contains primarily the TypeScript examples. So these examples actually consist of all the APIs, the top functions actually. So it has your SOP API, your trigger API, your Ultra API that we've just mentioned, and then also recurring API. So if you look into like, for example, trigger, we actually create a script for you that helps you to create and execute your order. And then once you've created and executed this is actually very visible on jup.ag. Yeah, so these are all the scripts that we've created for TypeScript. And because people love to use Python as well. So Fiji actually created like Python examples of the APIs as well that you can use. It's very, very like good in a sense of how to understand if you want to understand how to use Jupyter's APIs. Yeah. And this is like, I think less than 5 minutes implementation. Just change your private key, wallet address, and RPC URL, and you're good to go to use these scripts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been asking for like Python scripts, and the team just, we don't have those examples, those scripts on documentation. And the DevRel work group took the initiative to create those scripts so that people in Discord, whenever they ask, we can just pipe them directly to this GitHub repo. And all those examples are there, which is exactly the same as the TypeScript one, just in Python. And I think one thing to mention is not just about using the API as well, right? It is about using the Python packages, the Python library for interacting with Solana. So I think that's like the tricky part, to like sign transaction, to connect to RPCs, and all those things are covered in the scripts itself. Or maybe not covered, more of like you can just copy and paste and use the script. So I think, yeah, Python coders using Python will definitely enjoy that. Yeah. And hopefully in the future there'll be an SDK that you guys can run and support, and allow devs to develop faster.
Cool. This repo is actually quite cool. You can actually really see the people like proof of work. You guys should just show it to them.
I think I saw a question. What's the difference between Jupyter Mobile Wallet connector and Unified Wallet Kit? So Jupyter Mobile Wallet is actually built on top of, it is used Reown to actually build the whole entire like non-extension, not like your Phantom extension kind of integration. So they use Wallet Connect. So you have to kind of initialize your whole Wallet Connect on top of Solana's wallet adapter. So that's the difference for Jupyter Mobile. Wallet Connect for Solana is just basically the wallet adapter. They actually made it like in a sense where you just need to import adapters in that they already have created, and then that's already created there, and then you can use it. And then for Unified Wallet Kit is the most abstracted version of, is like a better version of from this documentation, where they give you all the wallets, like every wallet, like Trust Wallet even. Yeah. Is Unified still the latest one? I think there still needs to be some updates, but it is as latest as it can be, like for now.
The last update I think we did was like last week for the security patch from from Ledger or something like that, I think. But I might be wrong. Anyway, what's next?
I think you bring YY screen up. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I wish I
think
know
we-
how to control StreamYard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite complex.
When you cover a bit about the Jupiverse kit, right? I think it is something. Maybe then you want to introduce like, the backstory of how you got this started and maybe what's the plan for this in the future as well.
Yeah, so how it got started was I went for like a Jup event in Singapore, and then Soju, I caught up with Soju, and then Soju was like, "Hey, we need a referral in like the Jupiverse." Then I was like, "Okay." Then I was like, seeing how I can help out, and then also like seeing what are the gaps, and then I realized like there isn't like a quick and fast library that you can use to just import and then create a MVP within like a few days on Solana. So and then I realized Jupiter has a lot of APIs that can actually make your application from like a 1x become like a 10x because you have a swapping functionality within your application itself. So I just had the idea to create Jupiverse Kit. It's a React components library. So you can just import any React components. Like for example, Cons demonstrated the terminal earlier. You can just import it via like import terminal from Jupiverse Kit, and then you can use it and abstract all the low level code that you need to do. Yeah, so that's the idea behind Jupiverse Kit. It's just meant for people to use. And then if you guys have any like things that you've built before, yeah, you can always send a PR to Jupiverse Kit. It's completely open source.
So
it's
you
to
show some of the components as well.
Yeah. I think why you wanna share?
Yeah, maybe I'll share. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go to the website. Got the
Uh,
playground view.
Let's see. Am I sharing? Okay, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can actually play around the playground first to see what components you would like to use, and then after that, on the right side you can see how to actually implement it. If you want to go into the details of what kind of like props you can pass in, you can just go to the code base. It's at the bottom, like the GitHub link. Yeah, in the GitHub logo. Yeah, then you can just see what props you want to pass in. So the whole idea of it is to make it front-end development very abstracted and very easy to do. Like even if you pass into ChatGPT, they will help you to do everything up. Yeah.
Nice.
Jupyter Kit
That's the
is
best
really
thing, like
amazing.
vibe coding. Like people should stop coding.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if you want to contribute, just send a PR, and then it will likely get merged then I'll review, and then we just make this a good open source package. I think there's a lot of improvements for it as well that I have planned up for it. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, yeah, I think yeah, definitely looking forward for there are a few things that like would love to work with you guys on. I think the Ultra API upgrade on like Jupiverse Jupiverse Kit and also like on the terminal. I think that'll be awesome. Same thing.
Yeah.
I think Cons has the same problem as well because if the RPC die, everything die. Hopefully with
Exactly,
the Ultra
yeah.
API, like people can still keep it running without worrying too much about the RPC cost and whatnot. I think that will be very helpful. Yeah. I think the documentation still need a little bit more work. We can definitely work on it together. Simplify quite a lot of stuff. Even I was like looking at the Ultra API code right now. Seems like there's still a lot of things that we can cut, even though it's like 30 lines right now. Ideally, people should be able to do it like I don't know, 5, 10, less than 10 lines. That would be cool, and without depending on so many libraries as well. Maybe you can do something like a very simple library, like then people can even like So one library like import, then they don't have to think about everything. Yeah, I think that'll be cool as well.
Yeah, actually, if in the future, if it's just a 1 minute implementation of everything, wow, it'd be very
Yeah, I think
sick.
shouldn't be too difficult if you really look at it, right? Like the Anchor wallet, like the Anchor library, we imported it because we just want to use a wallet thing. For the Web3 thing, it's basically just transactions. A lot of things that are like I think they're all technically supported by itself. We can probably create like a simple library for Ultra as well if we really want to do it. But I think the main goal right now is to really like again like make API really easy to solve on Jupiter. I think make AI really easy to solve on Jupiter. Because I feel like if we can get it, we can convince AI to do everything. We can convince human to do a lot of things as well. Anyway, I think it's a Q&A sections. We have been answering a lot of questions along the way. If you are, if anyone here have more questions, feel free to drop your say something.
Yeah, and if you guys need like anything, join the new Discord section. I mean, there is a dev chat, dev voice, dev support. That's why we came up with the idea that you guys can come and chat and showcase your projects. And this is also something we are planning for the future, to have like weekly, bi-weekly meetups. Imagine this something like office hours, maybe, that we set the time one time a week where we know that on this time we're going to meet up on Discord, and this will be like a very chill, it doesn't have to be like very professional. We just get there, give our updates, what were we working on, what is the community doing. You can come up, talk, show what you built. This should be like a very PPP style thing.
Yeah, that will be fun. I think the whole office hour thing. Yeah, people can come out, ask questions. We can showcase what they want to do. Yeah,
Definitely. All right, why? What do you think?
I think we can
Are we on track?
A PCR for NPC.
Yeah, that's it. Written on stone.
I mean,
Nice.
don't get me into trouble, Maybe Mert will start like pinging me. Yo, like, what do you say in the chat? but again, right? I think it's like one thing that will be very cool. Moving forward, he will screenshot like this. Then like one day, he will tag me. What do you say? PC, NPC. I think Mert has all the screenshots of everything.
Yeah.
Can you maybe touch on how, very high level, how this is gonna work for Jupiter in the background? I mean, because of course the order has to be executed. So there is a connection to an RPC somewhere in the background, but you guys are just taking care.
Actually, in the background, like lending transaction has been something that for new developers coming to Solana, they will be like, oh, like transactions should be easy, right? But after you try like 1 time, 2 times, 3 times using like an RPC to lend a transaction, then you start realizing that like it's not easy at all. Behind the scenes, one thing that we've been doing is that we've been basically every single RPC provider out there, we use them at one point just to try it out, just to test it out, how good they are at lending transactions. Now we are working with 3 partners to help us lend transactions. Behind the scene, we also try a lot of new things as well. Zito is like obviously like a player in the market for a while. Now they are like Paladin that's been coming up on like how they can help lending transaction as well. There's also Next Block. There's also Tempora as well. Like different new players in the market that claim that they can help people to lend transaction. We talk to all of them. We try out all their solutions just to see whether whatever they provide is something that we can actually use. So that's one thing, right? But at the same time, it's like how do you know, like when you're trying out a new RPC, right? How do you know it's working? So behind Ultra, right, there are a bunch of stuff that we built up just to track performance. If we realize that transactions are not landing, they are failure, getting like too high, we like the whole team will get alerts. Oh, like something's happening, like the success rate dropped below 80%. Like obviously something is wrong. So we have to like make sure that things are working. So all these are basically things that behind the scenes that people don't know how much we put into like the ultra just to make sure that things are landing. Yeah. Actually, that's a good question. Maybe I should just write a tweet, like just tell people like what are the things that we do behind the scenes to make ultra works better. Yeah.
And we can definitely, I mean, it's insane work, and I mean, that's what I was chatting with Fiji like in the background like some minutes ago. Like where we were 6 months ago, and now we're here in this call with you, the legend. And
No.
I mean, no, yeah. In general, we feel like very, very proud of this, and this is also shout out to the community that guys, you can just commit yourself to some work, try to contribute in something you like and in something you do, and this work will be seen. You will not like be on the outside and no one is going to take care. I mean, we also didn't know then. We just came together from connections. We are both all three community builders, and now we formed a group. We've never seen each other. I mean, we've never seen him in real life.
That's the second time we see him.
Yes, that's actually the second time we see him, even in camera.
His face.
You guys should come to Singapore soon.
So
We
this
should-
is something
should.
that we are discussing, and we are going to do it. We will come to Singapore probably this year.
Nice. I definitely come by. Yeah, we should all hang. But anyway, like
Yeah.
I think I mean like it has been like amazing to have you guys in the support channels, like now I can like take a step back just to browse it, like then just like see, like it's actually a lot more active right now. I realize that it seems like a lot of people, maybe now it's like bear market, people are start building again. Or I'll be in bear market, I don't know.
Probably.
Cool. Anyway, yes. I mean, is there any other more questions? It seems like yes, the next burning cat. I mean, are we going to burn the cat again? I'm not sure we want to burn cat again. Like, isn't that like dogs are better than cat, according to the Today Twitter on?
So I see a comment. Josh is asking, when is the next meeting? So we haven't planned any new meeting yet, but we are gonna discuss about this week, and I think probably next week we will start with a timeline that fits best for all of us, because we have different time zones, so that you guys have a time slot, and like for example, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. we will be there, and you can come and yap with us, share what you built, and we share what we do.
Yeah, I think we will try out 2 different formats. One is like, a bit more formal live stream, all 5 of us talking here, sharing about, bigger updates. And then we'll have like a smaller session directly in Discord, more like an office hour workshop style that, like what Con mentioned, we'll just vibe and then discuss about ideas, get feedback, provide support, and a more like connected way directly in Discord. Yeah, versus like through a stream like what we're doing right now. So yeah, we'll experiment with both. And yeah, so this is the first ever developer call. Maybe apart
Let's
from
go.
what Siong did last time, maybe. Have you guys done, Siong, do you do before any developer call or like developer workshops like in Discord? Maybe there were workshops before.
I don't know. Do I?
Maybe this is the
I
very,
remember,
very
to be honest.
Okay,
But
we'll
I think
call
we should
this
do something like that. I think the workshop will be cool. I think all the demo that we have done just now is actually very cool. But I think next time we should really just like let people know that these are the demos that we do, so that people are interested in like one particular topic, they can start like signing up. Yeah. Maybe another way we can do just like put out an idea board, let people upvote. When the idea go to the top, then we'll just do a workshop on it or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people ask for one question, then we just do a workshop plus like a live demo and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And we can also bring this to the next level afterwards, and like maybe record some of the sessions, and with help from Uplink and from the DAO, we can have someone who's gonna edit this so that we can bring this on YouTube, like recorded sessions, something like that, and coding session or examples. Yeah.
Yeah, baby, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, guys, we're gonna reach out probably next week with our first Discord meetup.
Sounds good. And okay, I think we'll wrap up this call. I think it's like 1 hour 40 minutes into this call. Maybe we're the longest call ever now, with like 3 live coding demos. But yeah, I think the Referral work group has, you know, shown what they are capable of, and there's a lot more that, you know, resources, support, a lot more things can be provided from them. Very valuable resources. And yeah, I think if you guys are not aware, there's a trial work group vote that is live right now at vote.jup.ag. So if you have not voted for the Referral work group, so go ahead and take a vote, and make sure to go and read the Jup research post as well to see the some of the things we have done and the future plans. That's very important. Go and read the Jup research post, especially on the things that they want to, the goals they want to focus on in the next 3 months as a trial working group. So go and vote. And if you have not taken a look at the new developer docs, go to dev.jup.ag and provide any feedback, any questions you have, any resources that you think we are still missing on, anything that can be improved. Go ahead and reach out to us in Discord, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next call, hopefully next week. And yeah, we'll do more vibe code and more live demos, hopefully in the future.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
for having us here.
Thumbs up.
I see my thumb.
Call the devs.